Imagine a man who commits a crime and gets away with it. They will begin to think that they can do it again. Although many criminals are like this, no criminal exemplifies this as much as Jeffrey Dahmer, one of America's most infamous serial killers. Today on Psychological Crime, we're exploring behaviorism, one of psychology's most famous theories to understand why people like Dahmer commit crimes. I'm your host, Milo Takamoto, and joining me today is special guest Dr. Hilo, a world-renowned psychology and criminology expert. Thanks for having me, Milo. Dahmer's case is extreme, but it's a perfect real-world example of how learned behavior, and especially the absence of punishment, can shape someone's actions over time. We're focusing on behaviorism today. For people who don't know, what is behaviorism? Behaviorism is the idea that our environment determines our behavior. It focuses on observable actions, things that you can see, rather than how they're shaped by rewards and punishments. There are two main parts of behaviorism: classical conditioning and operant conditioning. What's classical conditioning? So classical conditioning is basically when we learn to associate one thing to another. For example, a dog barks whenever they hear a doorbell because they've learned that the sound means a stranger is close. It's a natural response that's been conditioned by experience and stimulus. Cool. And operant conditioning? Operant conditioning means we learn behaviors based on what happens after we act. If you do something and get rewarded, you're more likely to do it again. If you get punished, you're less likely to repeat it. There are four main parts for operant conditioning: positive reinforcement, adding something good like praise; negative reinforcement, removing something bad like canceling chores; positive punishment, adding something bad like getting punched or beat; negative punishment, taking away something good like your phone or getting grounded, that kind of thing. An easy way you can remember it is by knowing that positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement are in response to positive behaviors, while positive punishment and negative punishment are a response to negative behaviors. So in Dahmer's case, his early crimes weren't punished. That's negative reinforcement, right? So Dahmer got away with crime multiple times. No punishment means the environment was reinforcing his behavior. It was like saying that it was okay for him to continue. That lack of consequence made him commit crimes more and more. Also, when he was growing up, he was neglected, which means he lacked discipline. That kind of unstable environment plays a massive role in how someone develops. Oh, that makes sense. So behaviorism helps criminologists understand why some people keep committing crimes? Yeah, so behaviorism shows that when crime is rewarded through money, thrill, reputation, and not punished, it becomes reinforced. And on the other hand, consistent punishment or the removal of rewards can help stop that behavior. That's why it's so relevant to criminology. It helps explain why offenses are repeated over and over. But doesn't behaviorism also tie outside of criminology? Yeah, for sure. It's a big deal in education and parenting. Children learn how to behave based on rewards and punishments. A parent might take away privileges for bad behavior or give praise or money for good grades. Wait, so what are the strengths and weaknesses that you would say this theory has? The strength is that it's scientific and practical, but the weakness is that it doesn't explain everything. So what I mean by that is random or emotional crimes shown in like secondary psychopaths or something, it wouldn't explain those types of factors. Wait, and how would this tie into policy or practice? It's used a lot in rehab and childhood development. Parents use it naturally by rewarding or punishing behavior to make sure that their kids turn out good. And in criminal justice systems like prisons, they have behavior modification programs. I'm pretty sure they're called token systems. Yeah, token systems that reward inmates for good behavior to encourage long-term change. Whoa, that's crazy. So you're saying the same the same conditioning that can reinforce bad behavior can also reverse bad behavior? That's actually crazy to me. I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. So if we understand how the environment shapes our choices, we can design better systems in schools, families, and rehab centers that reinforce the right ones. That's awesome, Dr. Hilo. Thank you for joining us today. My pleasure, Milo. And thank you to everyone listening to Psychological Crime. If you want to learn more, check out the sources in the episode's description. See you next episode.